Purpose of Life Spirit of Amen Camp, Hamiti Hebrew Ethics, is to provide an inside story of Black African spiritual and religious heritage and the actual practice that we must put in place today in our personal life so that we can be able to turn around the misperception and the oppressive nature of this earth when the global powers and global forces drive us back and drive us down into the ground. Now, without the fundamentals of understanding the Black African spiritual and religious heritage, we are all going to catch hell from those who have studied these same life principles and formulated strategies and agendas against us. And let me say, these Black African spiritual and religious principles work because they are the ones that are used and being used amid in a way that they should not be applied, but they are running this earth. Then the question that comes is, okay, which books should we study then? And why should we study those books? And which language or languages should we study or should we use? Why should we learn and why should we use that language? And perhaps one more critical question is, what is the religion or teaching of Life Spirit of Amen Hebrew Ethics or Hamiti Hebrew Ethics? It will take hours and hours to answer what Life Spirit of Amen Camp teaches. However, it is clear that we should tell people that we use the Torah, the prophets, the New Testament, ancient Egyptian books, 5 mythic scriptures, 2 books with mystical or ritual philosophies, and 4 books of wisdom texts. I shall elaborate on these other books later and how they come into play. But I want to quickly say, learn an African language, especially a language with a click. Learn to use that language and to speak it. Don't learn Arabic. Don't learn modern Hebrew. Learn ancient Arabic, ancient Hebrew. With that, you are in a position to understand what the ancient sages taught and to decode for yourself their truth. It says in one of them, the sayings of our ancient thinkers, Black thinkers, self-knowledge is the basis of true knowing, soul to heaven, body to earth. Why then do we use the Torah? Because there are perceptions or teachers that say the Torah is not right, that it came by the colonizer, that it was given by the enslaver to control the brain and the thinking of the black people or the black slave. First and foremost, we must understand why the black person was enslaved, how the black person was enslaved, and how the black person can remove slavery from him and from her brain and her life. Because this is a political, economic, technological, and socio-cultural war, as well as a spiritual war. However, what I want to say concerning the Torah is this: the Black Africans wrote the Torah, translated the Torah for the Greeks and Europeans. What proof is there? First, look at the geography of the Torah. The geography itself tells you that the Torah was not written by anyone else who didn't know Africa, or anyone else who was not an African. If you read Genesis chapter 2, verse 10 to 14, you find the description of the African continent. You also find in that description the location of the Garden of Eden, as well as the primordial man who was known as Atem, now Adam, and also the derivative Atom, which is the scientific term atom, popularized by the Greeks. You also find the mother of humanity there, carrying an Egyptian goddess named Geb, so-called Seb, or Eve. The Egyptian god Eve, now called Geb, or Seb, or Guvu, or Kuvu. No other continent is described in the Torah, save only as a nickname or a pejorative term, and as well as a strange land far away. You also find that there is a term Havila in Genesis chapter 2, which is an African and Bantu term Avila or Mavirira, sunset or west. If you draw a line, the original demarcation line that was drawn across the surface of the earth, passing through the large pyramid, down to South Matopo, right into the Antarctica, you find that Havila is set to the west. That line would later be changed by Europe to become the GMT now that passes in Europe. There was no Middle East, it's all Northeast Africa. The white Arabs came from Europe via Rome and later Turkey. The current Jews who are in Israel, who control Israel, came from Poland, Russia, Germany, and other European zones. And also some of them came from Spain. You can Google this and study the Caesarian Convention. The Torah and the Bible clearly teaches that the Hebrews were just the same and similar to the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Sumerians, and that all of these people were of dark skin or Africoid nature. Esau, who was light skinned, is described as ruddy. He was also known as an albino. Joseph was indistinguishable from Egyptians when his brothers visited them in Genesis 39:14. The skin color, the hair color, the type of hair described in Leviticus 13 vis-a-vis leprous, and the golden hair and the long stretchy hair is not of African beginning. It is a diseased state of the dark skin. From dark skin to pale skin is described in Exodus 4 verse 6. Only African hair develops locks or Rastafari, the 6 and 9 of the African hair, which is the shape of the universe. So we have got other people like King Solomon, who describes himself as black and beautiful in his songs 1 verse 5 to 6. We have got totems which are found in Genesis 49, and all of these totems are known as Egyptian totems or Egyptian gods. We've got the very similar names of people that are found in the Torah, and these names are contextually correct. Consider the king who troubled Israel, known as Nebuchadnezzar today. His actual name is Nebuchadnezzar. Consider Joseph, whom we have spoken of. He had his name changed to an ancient African name, Zaphanati. That was his name, Zaphanati. He was like them. We have got a woman who was almost starving and has a book in the Torah, in the Bible, in the prophets, minor prophets. You call her Ruth today, but her actual name is Rute, because they were starving her, and Maone, a reverse which you now call Naomi. You have got a governor who was born in Babylon, who was called Jarwe Babel. You call him Zerubbabel. Abraham had a third wife. Today you have a nickname. You call that small house. Actually, Abraham's small house was actually called small house or small grand house, Keturah. You call her Keturah. That's what that they have twisted. They twisted so that you cannot easily locate this. Here now is the thing. If the Europeans wrote the Bible, do you think they would purposely put Africa as the only continent there? Would you think they would not put themselves as the top? Why would they leave verses like Genesis 10:4, which describes Europe as an island of Gentiles? the one place Europe is referred to is called Gentile Island. Why would you think the Europeans would leave Songs of Solomon 1 verse 5, which says, I am black and beautiful there? Is there any other race that can be called that? None. The Bible, when it says, I am black and beautiful, it tells the truth. Would you find the prophecies that describes Africans, that describe the greatness of Egypt, the greatness of Ethiopians, the athleticism of black people? You wouldn't. All I can say is this: the Torah is a derivative that was crafted by ancient Africans who wrote it for the Greeks, the Romans, and other Europeans. In it, they included certain keys which point to its source. And this is what I have already described. I stand to be corrected if I am wrong here, because I am finding that there are two extreme doctrinated positions which are in play, especially by our black brothers here in the United States of America. They are falling on the cross of the source and interpretation, and they are grasping the source and interpretation which is erroneous to facts and which does not admit facts. I stand to be corrected. Someone must come up and tell me that Genesis 2 does not describe Africa, that I am black and beautiful does not describe a black person, which is what the European interpretation carries today. Lastly, I just want to describe about the source. There are only two sources of your religion today. Your religion will either be coming from Babylon and either Egypt. When it is coming from Egypt, it should have an African interpretation. When it is coming from Europe, it will have a European interpretation. And hence, you will find that a white Jesus, a white God, white angels, European Jesus, or Bogias. You find all these coming from Europe and the interpretation being European. And then you will find that you can entertain fake stories like the case of Ham and the backwardness or the genetic backwardness of black people is interpreted as an interpretation that comes from the source, if your source is Europe. However, if your source is African, you will be able to understand the spiritual as well as the physical nature of the Torah. I shall look forward to your contributions and your suggestions and your criticisms, but in conclusion, our source of knowledge, our book source of knowledge, is still written on stone in ancient Egypt, as we summarized in the book of Coming Forth by Day, so-called Book of the Dead, which we interpret in its original state by understanding its original purpose and its original intent. Subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Goodbye.